Japan is famous for many things. Sushi, shrines, ramen, Pokemon, Light Yagami, this guy, and whatever this is. One of their many famous attractions happens to be seasonal and only visible in a couple weeks per year, and that is of course the cherry blossoms. While there are unfortunately some hotspots that are completely overrun with people trying to catch a glimpse of the pretty trees, that should not distract from the essence and cuteness of this phenomenon. Japan, the land of the electronics, gaming, ear-shattering pachinkos, and other things that keep people indoors, has a couple weeks when even the most dedicated shade appreciators and sunlight dodgers dare to step into the sunny outside world voluntarily. I'm just joking, but isn't it actually really cute that a bunch of people come out to just stare at pink trees? I think that's really sweet, so I wanted to take part in that and document it photographically. It's spring in Tokyo, and that means the cherry blossoms are blooming and lots of people are out and about appreciating the pretty awakening of the trees. And of course, I am one of those people, and in this episode I would like to invite you to join me on a little street photography session. For a change, I felt like picking up the good old Lumix GX80, and with it I explored a new neighbourhood that I hadn't visited before. I'll explain why I chose that spot in a bit, but for now, let's get going.
No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our days. One big smile across my face. We used to dance our way to church on Sunday. Mama set the pace. Kidnapped me. Take me back, all the way back to them days. Running around.
After my clearly sophisticated morning nutritional intake, I went out and headed to the train station. However, my trip wasn't far actually, literally just one stop, because the neighbourhood I wanted to explore on this day was Kunitachi. The reason I chose to come here is actually quite simple. The day before, I was on the train from downtown Tokyo back to Tachikawa, and I happened to be standing in a spot where I caught a glimpse of Kunitachi outside of the station as I was passing by. And I noticed something. I saw an unexpectedly high density of pink flowers. In Tachikawa, our train station literally has one cherry blossom tree. One. So I decided to investigate the clearly superior cherry blossom situation in the neighbouring town, which brought me here on this fine day. So this here is the quieter side of the train station, and it's so pretty. The few cherry blossom trees really add a nice touch to the place, and there were many people enjoying the view, which I tried to capture in my photographs. This here, as you can probably tell, is the busier side of the train station. I liked how this guy was just painting here, and I liked his hat, so I asked him whether I may take a quick photograph of him doing his thing. Honestly, the boring background kind of takes away from the photo though. The painter is cool, but unfortunately I think the background is really quite ugly and takes away from the photo. The lighting on this day was quite hard to work with, to be honest. It was pretty in many instances, but it could also quickly turn to just harsh and too contrasty, which made photography a little challenging, though I tried my best of course. This one, for example, is quite okay I think, because the glowing umbrella clearly takes the spotlight as the subject. This shot doesn't feel as chaotic as the others. This is a bit of an odd shot because I like it, but I can't really tell you why. It doesn't really appear special, but the lighting and the way the cherry blossoms hang above the little roof of the bus station evoke some sort of feeling. So in an odd way, I like this one. On this side of the train station there are also many cherry blossoms. These are the ones I first saw when passing by, and I was impressed by just how many they had lined up here.
Com cabelos cor de mel singela, seu nome é Mabel, é uma menina cheia de vida. Se vamos para a praia, não esquece a sandália e se olha pro céu.
This scene has the potential to be a nostalgic-looking Japan core photo with the cherry blossoms and the Lawson, which has this vivid blue that contrasts the other colours in this scene. I also like the cyclist in the foreground. However, it doesn't quite work, I'm afraid. I think it's because the foreground is in the shade and not in the sun, so it's just a bit too dark to evoke that feeling. This is because of the building to the left of the frame that was blocking the sun, so that's unfortunate, I suppose. This is another shot that feels very Japan core thanks to the taxi. I love the sleek, slightly noble looking taxis in Tokyo. In this photograph, I think it makes for a nice subject in front of the cherry blossoms and the buildings. And this time the whole scene is brightly lit, which assists that warm, nostalgic feeling I find. So I think this works pretty well. By the way, in case you have a little collection of shots that you like, you should make a portfolio, for which I recommend this channel's partner, Squarespace. If you need a portfolio website, an online shop, a freelancer's booking page, or anything basically, Squarespace is the place to make it. I personally have been using Squarespace for over 5 years at this point, and I highly recommend it if you need a website. They have a bunch of professionally designed templates to start off from, and with their intuitive drag and drop editor, it is easy to customize the design to your liking. Or you can even use their AI tool, which will build you a website based on your description. And they are really all in one. You can register your own domain name with them, and they offer analytics to track the activity on your page. Personally, I think what they do really well, or what I appreciate, is that they give me creative freedom in combination with ease of use. Try it out for yourself. You can head to squarespace.com for a 14-day free trial, and then when you're ready to launch a website, you can go to squarespace.com/Crawford to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This was on a Sunday, so there were plenty of people out on the streets, and the atmosphere was a very sweet spring one. I tried to capture that by photographing the people enjoying the day, simply appreciating the warmth of this day after the winter months and the flowers blooming. This is something I love about photography. It's not just a way to document moments, but also to capture joy, I suppose, and transport it. At least a little bit of the joy of some of these people can now be transported to you, thanks to the photograph. At least I like the idea of that. This shot turned out quite cute, I think. The buildings aren't as tall and corporate looking as the ones closer to the station, and I like the shape of the tree with the cherry blossoms. Also, the absence of cars in this scene and the presence of bicycles instead adds a calm atmosphere, in my opinion.
It's way quieter here, and I'm hoping to find some bench or something somewhere for a little lunch snack, because I found a nice shop with some sushi a couple minutes ago, so I want to snack that. There was absolutely nothing over there. Never mind, let's go back to the main street and see if we find a free bench.
Red stain, the clinking of glass, the flickering shade on your face, pouring rain. Oh, I wish we had stayed. Misplaced, got somewhere to be, don't wanna leave, just want.
A common thing one can spot in Japanese cities is a bridge that crosses a road so that pedestrians can cross the road without interfering with the traffic on the road. This one was a bit different than the ones that I'm used to though. Instead of a simple set of steps that lead up to the bridge, this one has a slope that curves so that cyclists can push their bicycle up here easily. As a photographer, I could also sense some potential to play around with this shape. Here's a shot I took with the shape as part of the composition. I like how the round shape can become a sort of harmonic looking frame that hugs the right side of the image and reveals the cherry blossoms and the blue sky above. The people are a nice little touch that add some life to the frame. I like this.
Heart rate, keeping in time with the beat of that old refrain. Sideways, like I knew you before. I can't shake feeling alone.
Here's another shot I got in which I attempted to use the shapes and lines of the bridge to assist to the composition. I think it works quite well. My eyes feel like they're led through the photograph instead of aimlessly looking around. By the way, for the editing of these photos, I used my own Lightroom presets, and I recently even created a new one inspired by this session. If you'd like to edit with my Lightroom presets yourself, you can get them on my Patreon. On there, I also have a bunch of videos in which I break down my editing and color grading process. I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to check it out. I like this shot a lot. It's another nostalgic feeling one, but this time with a white taxi, not a black one. I think the white looks really good in this scene, and in case you're wondering whether this shot is slightly out of focus, yes, it's out of focus. That's my broken Lumix, unfortunately. I mentioned this in some other videos before, but my GX80 is not in the best shape anymore. The autofocus has been very unreliable, with many such misses. The annoying thing is that it's so deceptive because it's not off dramatically, only a tiny little bit, so that I usually only notice it when I see the photograph on a proper screen when editing. There were many people enjoying the view on this bridge. I decided to cross the bridge here and get some shots of the action while passing. After crossing the road, I slowly walked back to the station and looked to see if I found anything else worth capturing.
Porque mi amor, why did you leave me waiting here? Why did you go? Where is the touch? Where is the love? Where is the love? Porque mi amor, why did you close?
I didn't really find any more photographs, and the sun slowly hid away behind a couple clouds, so I thought this is probably the end of this session, so I was ready to head back home. However, there was a little something I wanted to check out before leaving. I had found a little entry on Google Maps quite close to Kunitachi Station called Shinkansen Museum. Being the train fan that I am, I thought that sounded fantastic, so I wanted to check it out. It turned out to be merely an old Shinkansen that was turned into an exhibition, which was really cool, but I was actually expecting a bit more than just this. Nevertheless, a nice ending to this little excursion to the neighbouring city of Kunitachi. It was kind of funny to just be one station away from home for a change. Usually my trip back takes an hour or longer, so this was a pleasant change. I hope you enjoyed coming with me and had a good time too. Before saying goodbye, I'd like to say a massive thank you to the lovely people supporting me and my work on Patreon. Thank you so much to each one of you. If you're interested in Lightroom presets, tutorials and stuff like that, you can check out my page via the link in the description. Also, I have a print shop in case that is of interest to you, also in the description. With that said, I hope to see you again soon. Until then, goodbye.